top 5 teams to take in to 2024. Joined with me is the one and only Valley Florida.
Yes! We're gonna smash this video mobile.
Oof.
These are the best teams to take it to 2024 for Marvel Strike Force.
Yeah, and so we have
maybe.
for 3 months until the teams are done with, right? Hopefully you get 6 months of use out of them.
The first few weeks of 2024, these teams are gonna be awesome.
Yeah, so we have both each independently picked the 5 best teams to take into 2024. Happy New Year, happy holidays.
Happy New Year.
And
Happy New Year, happy holidays to you, my friend.
And you have picked different teams than mine. And
I feel we've got a few overlap, but hopefully we got some different picks here.
Okay. And so what I was thinking about mostly is what teams right now are going to be good in the majority of game modes. And what I mean by that, Raids, Cosmic Crucible, and Alliance War. And hopefully these teams will be useful in 2 of the game modes, maybe just Crucible and Alliance War. Does that make sense?
Okay, good. We've chosen different things for what is valuable to us, so we didn't use the same exact standards. So
well,
that's good.
I want to say that the game has gone a little bit more theory crafting, and we're getting better plug and play characters. I feel like Nightcrawler, Green Goblin, Quicksilver, are examples of plug and play-ish characters. Even Big Time Spider-Man's plug and play-ish, right?
Even Nova is kind of plug and play.
Yeah, Vol maybe, Kestrel, but and then of course Super Skrull and Apocalypse. I mean, I don't think we need to talk about them.
No, they're the 2 best characters we need to get them.
But because considering where the game was Black Order, Infinity Watch, and that's if you don't want to play it, too bad. You've got to play it, right? I mean, that was kind of the way the game was for a long time. So the first team that's on my list, and I know that they're falling out of Arena a little bit, but I still think that they're worth talking about. Secret Defenders. I mean, it's just Black Cat is good. Hard Light has a built-in it's kind of like an anti-apocalypse ultimate, right? Built into Hard Light. Ghost Rider Robbie is just like a superstar of DD6, and he puts out tons of bleeds. Photon is kind of like the flex. You can actually, she's very good in Alliance War. Now, this
in War, yes, I don't use her in Arena or any other game.
No, only in War.
I use her.
Only in War. Now, I want to say that I think that Black Cat might be over in the Arena because it's now turned into a Super Skrull arena, and any character that starts off the battle with positive effects is going to give turn meter to the opposing Super Skrull. And Black Cat does that, right? So it's like it feels like Black Cat is not necessarily even arena viable.
I
still
use her on offense, but I've taken her off of defense for about a couple of weeks.
I've taken her. I'm not using her on offense or defense, but however, Secret Defenders, Wreck Nerds, not only in Alliance War, but Cosmic Crucible. This is a strong team. What's your take on this?
You're still using at least 1 or 2 of these characters in Arena right now.
Yes.
So I think they're still viable.
Yes.
Even without Black Cat, you're using 2, at least 1 of these characters. So I think
but Alliance War and Cosmic Crucible for sure. Like this is a very important team right now across multiple game modes.
Very annoying Cosmic Crucible if you don't have the right team going in.
Yeah, I'm finding that like Black Cat, Hard Light, Ghost Rider plus like Thanos and Super Skrull and Room 1 is a nightmare team. And then people are doing goofy things with Super Skrull and or Apocalypse on defense inside of Alliance War. So I'm really confident about this team being useful. And I think Black Cat and Ghost Rider have kind of like plug and play elements to them. And then Ms. Marvel does have an anti-apocalypse kind of function to her. So I think this is a great team, specifically those 3.
The three piece, yeah. I'd say very, very confident. At least now we don't have a new arena meta arriving because we know that the Hive Mind is coming out as the next team in this update. They're going to be a raid team. So they're at least February, March going to be involved in the arena meta. Maybe you're taking out some pieces, but at least 1 or 2 of these characters are going to be in the arena meta at least until February, I think. So I think this is a team you could be building pretty confidently, at least until February.
All
And then
right.
we'll see what happens.
Yeah, for sure. Let's go to team 2, and
All right,
we'll get
all
to
right,
it. Team 2 on this list, and this is in no particular order, and you're welcome to disagree with me, but I have found this team to be surprisingly useful in raids, inside of Cosmic Crucible on offense, very useful, and also somewhat useful in Alliance War. Now, I do want to point out, I got super lucky on Kestrel.
I heard about that.
my
My
God,
goodness.
yeah.
We were just talking about, I need to get a few more diamonds. You got lucky with that one.
I ended up pulling
Jeez.
So
one of the best pulls you could get from your diamonds, I think.
Yes. So the thing about Kestrel is now a Dark Dimension reward. I don't know, one or three. Which one or three?
One. And then Ultimus is 3 now.
Okay, and so they're creating a new tag called Mythic, which is going to be the Dark Dimension characters plus Apocalypse, right? So it's going to be, and then Dark Dimension 7, the last 2 nodes are going to be Mythic. So Kestrel is going to get used in Dark Dimension 7 for Mephisto. This is just a fun team. They're a little bit slow outside of raids, but you kind of have to use this team in raids no matter what. And the problem with raid teams is, like, sometimes you feel obligated to upgrade them to do a certain difficulty in raids, and you got to push the teams. And then you end up upgrading a team that is ultimately useless in other game modes. And I'll give you the example right now is Invaders. They're useless outside of raids. Invaders, other than Nick Fury, right? Nick Fury gets used out of raids. The rest of the team is not getting used.
You could even question their value in the raids right now with the Incursion 2 raids.
Yeah, and it's like, and I feel like all the resources that I'm putting into Invaders is going to feel wasted as time goes on, once the next team comes out. I don't know when that's going to be.
Definitely, yeah.
But I don't feel that way about Pegasus. And the other thing, too, is Bifrost does not feel like Pegasus. I'm not a fan of Bifrost. I don't even like what Vol gets used outside of that. I mean, maybe Vol kind of gets used in a little bit on defense in Alliance War, but
that's an easy defense to crack.
Yeah,
also, so
yeah.
It's not.
But I don't feel like there's a lot of value in Invaders. I don't feel like there's a lot of value in Bifrost outside of raids. But Pegasus, for sure, feels good in Crucible and Alliance War at times. Now, they're a little slow. I don't know how long they're going to be good, but Kestrel's going to be good for a long time,
You're going
right?
to need them for the raids. You're going to need them for the raids for a while. This team just came out, November or so. So they should be viable at least till November of 2024, at least for the raids. Outside the raids, I'm not sure, but Kestrel's going to have value and this team's going to have value. So I like this pick also.
Okay, so that was my second pick, again in no particular order. Let's go to team number 3, and I'm pretty sure that you have this team also. I don't know why you wouldn't have this team, right?
This is a fun team.
Yeah, this is a fun team. Now, I'm not sure how good Forge and Sunspot are going to be outside. I'm not sure. I mean, I know Sunspot gives damage. He gives ability energy. He makes it in raids so that opposing enemies can't gain taunt. Forge is kind of slow, but he's the reviver of the team. But I feel like Nightcrawler and Gambit are going to be useful in a lot of other places long term. Like, I'm feeling good about Nightcrawler and Gambit for sure. Like, I have no reservations in upgrading Gambit, no reservations in upgrading Nightcrawler. They feel good. Right?
That's a nice Cyclops. I just noticed the 3 diamonds on that Cyclops. Mike, I'm jealous of that one. He's doing some work for me in Crucible and War as well. So that's not that bad of a thing.
Yeah,
I know you mentioned Gambit and Nightcrawler as the obvious picks, but Cyclops, don't sleep on Cyclops, guys.
Okay, I haven't found Cyclops to be over the top useful in multiple game modes, but I'm super sold on
Crucible.
I don't know. I maybe I have to try it, but Nightcrawler for sure, Gambit for sure. And then when we get all 5, and it feels like large parts of their kits are going to work with just the X-Men tag. And Gambit is a great example of that, and so is Nightcrawler. What's your take on this team? And of course, they're going to, in theory, we're going to have to see how it works in raids. I mean, we don't have the full team, but I'm still pretty excited about it being a good raid team.
The three-piece works very well in the raids right now.
Yes.
Nightcrawler, Cyclops, Gambit, Apocalypse. I'm using Archangel. Some people are using Rogue, but that, I get through the raids pretty well with that. So Forge is unnecessary for me. I think the value comes in saving time and being able to sim this. I think that's where you're going to get the value from Forge and Sunspot. And obviously, as we get more difficulties added to these incursion raids, you probably will need this full team. But as of right now, just a three-piece is really, really good.
Yeah, and I'm really excited for the future of the game, having more flexibility and more theory crafting. We were just talking about Extreme X-Men, and so on, but I feel like the first glimpse that we got of that, which is going to be my next team, and you already know what I'm going to say, right?
Which one are you going to pick? Which six are you going to pick? Well, the Superior or the Sinister? That's the question.
I'm going to show the Sinister Six because the Sinister Six is a more broad tag, right? And so I mean, I guess we're talking about Superior Six and Sinister Six, but there's some overlap, right? Doc Ock and Green Goblin play into both teams. Vulture's good on both teams at times, and I'm finding that it is matchup specific which characters I'm using and dropping. Like, I think this is the best thing ever. I mean, if this is the future of Marvel Strike Force, having flexibility and interchangeable and doing specific things in certain situations, case in point, Rhino is still amazing under certain situations in providing an anti-Magneto, anti-Taskmaster. I mean, I think that's great, right? And so in certain situations, Rhino's good. I just think that there's enough flexibility on this team. And even if you're able to like split them into two teams, as time goes on and there's power creep, right? It could be consolidated into one team, right? One good team. I just think that this is an amazing direction that the game is going forward. And Green Goblin, I'm using Green Goblin Arena, right? Green Goblin is amazing.
Defense as well.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just think this is the best thing ever. And this is for 2024. I hope that, please, Scopely, continue to do what they did with Sinister Six, with other types of teams, X-Men, Avengers, Symbiotes, Spider-Verse, so on and so on, right? I mean, it could just keep going, right?
I'm hoping they do that with X-Men. I think that a lot of communities hoping for that as well. There's rumors about that, but I think a lot of the rumors came from the community wanting that to happen more than anything that we've seen officials. I hope they extend that with a lot of other teams as well. I like more theory crafting and not just these plug and play teams that we've had a lot last year. So yeah, this is great. I like this team. I like the reworks. I like the flexibility, and I like that you could plug and play different members of the team. You don't have to use that full 5-piece, because sometimes Ultra works better. Sometimes Mysterio works better. And I like that there's that flexibility.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I just think this is great for the overall health of the game. Now, the last team is Gamma, and maybe this has fallen off, and you may have not put Gamma on your list.
I didn't pick this. I like this. All right, what are your thoughts on Gamma? I'm curious.
So Gamma is still a mess and dominant inside of Alliance War. Gamma is still being used on defense inside of Crucible.
I have them on defense in Cosmic Crucible right now.
Yeah, and what I'm thinking is, like, when I think about Gamma, though, I think about APOC Gamma. I know that's not what you were thinking when you thought this video up, but APOC just fits so well onto this team, and depending on the situation, you either replace Abomination or She-Hulk. And I just think that's fantastic to be able to plug in Apocalypse onto this team, specifically inside of Alliance War, and then replace one of those two, and then just walk over, enemy Super Skrulls or whatever they're trying to do. And I just think this is a good team. Now, I don't know if I would go crazy on this team other than Red Hulk and Apocalypse. The other four, I feel like you can kind of back off a little bit. What's your take on this team?
I like this team. I was not expecting this. I was thinking this is a team that's kind of falling off. Red Hulk, I don't see him as falling off anytime soon. That ultimate that he does, making him angry, I think that is really, really powerful. I am using them in Cosmic Crucible kind of by default. I know some people are using Pegasus in Room 2. I'm using Gamma in Room 2, and that's you get a lot of counters there. There's still a problem in War. If you go into if you don't have the teams because you use them already, Gamma is a tough team to beat on defense as well. So there's more and more counters to them, and they smash a lot on offense. This is a good team. I don't know if I would build them right now, but yeah, there's a lot of value still with this team. Brawn still offers value. She-Hulk. The Hulk's going to be a problem if you pair him with Red Hulk all the time. So yeah.
Yeah.
Good team.
So again, you know, we were the top 5 teams for 2024. I want to say that this one is the one that I have the least amount of confidence out of the 5. I'm more confident in suggesting people upgrade the other 4. So we're gonna head over to Valley Flying's channel because he has a different list, right? And
we use a slightly different thought process. We just said pick the best 5 teams and we let it go. So I use a little different thought process. So my teams are slightly different. All
right, head over to Valley Frying's channel to watch the other video. And as always, thanks for watching. Bye for now. Boy.
No, I ain't stopping. Homie, regardless. And I ain't stopping. No, I ain't stopping. I'm just getting started. Let's go. My skin is